Every year, there's a season in business when the noise quiets down, deals begin to slow, inquiries taper off, competitors even begin to take their foots off the gas. The weather cools, the holidays are here, and you too have an imagination, may also be guilty of taking your foot off the gas just because it's the holiday season. Tax season is approaching. Maybe it's a slow market or whatever story it is, you need to justify choosing comfort and cruising or coasting into the new year with that so-called excuse that you hear and share every year. I'll dive in head first at the turn of the new year. But here's the most dangerous part. You are costing yourself an exponential amount of opportunity, impact, and income. Every single year, like clockwork, you tell yourself you'll ramp things back up when either the market picks back up, the holidays are over, or the weather begins to warm. You tell yourself you'll get serious when interest rates drop, or you'll finally recommit when you feel motivated again. But here's the biggest takeaway that I'd like you to take from today's conversation. These next few months, the winter months, the holiday season, if you will, so many people, if we bring in the sporting world for a moment, view this time period as the off season. I want to challenge you to view the next few months as opportunity, to specifically view it as separation season. This is the time when average producers unconsciously fall asleep at the wheel. They drift, they shrink their goals, and they let comfort creep in. Are you average? Meanwhile, top performers, which I imagine you are or strive to be because you're listening to this podcast, they're the ones who dominate the market share in Q1, who thrive during downturns, who always seem to be in the right place at the right time, and they're doing something different because they are continuously casting lines into the water 12 months of the year. They're sharpening their skills, they're building their pipelines, doubling down on relationships, and they're doing perhaps the most important aspect of their growth. They're doing the emotional mindset and strategic work that no one sees. And here's the truth I need you to know. Again, intentionally sounding like that broken record. You are costing yourself exponentially in opportunity, impact, and income by taking your foot off the gas next couple of months. This separation season is not only an opportunity to distance yourself from your competitors, to stand out in your selective market, it's an opportunity to leave the past version of yourself in the dust, to level up in your beliefs, your behaviors, your relationships, and your results while everybody else is fumbling into the new year trying to play catch up because they took a few months off. And that's the focus of this conversation today, to give you this new perspective, to inspire, empower, and motivate you to keep your foot on the gas for the duration of the year so you have a massive leg up on your competitors in the January 2025 version of year as 2026 comes down the horizon. Well, welcome back to another episode within the episode, the show within the show, the inner game of real estate success, the show that gives you the tools to master your mind, close with confidence, and thrive in both business and life. I'm your host in this monthly feature. My name is Paul Salter. I'm a mindset and performance coach with over 16 years of experience, personally coaching more than 3,000 high-performing individuals just like you. And I use hypnosis to help my clients get unstuck, out of their own way, so that they can unlock and achieve their potential. And specifically, we do the real work, the deep work, identifying and dismantling the destructive patterns of thinking, feeling, believing and behaving that keep you stuck in the perpetual cycle of 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. So let's dig in because separation season is here. The opportunity to separate, distance yourself from past iterations of you and your competition is upon you. Are you going to make the most of it? Or are you going to cave in to the comfort, the ease, the slowness that the average individual craves and gravitates towards during this time of year? One of my favorite analogies to bring into the entrepreneurial space is from my time as a sports dietitian. And the niche and area of expertise when I was in the sports nutrition world was actually sustainable weight loss. And fun fact, did you know that after 12 months, 85% of people who have lost the weight have regained it? Within 3 years, that number rises to 95%. Meaning only 5% of people who lose significant weight keep it off after 3 years. Even more, 50% of those people who lose weight actually end up weighing more than their original pre-diet starting weight just a few years later. And obviously, that's a separate conversation on how broken the approach to sustainable weight loss is. But the analogy I like to take from my time in this area is the 7 days a week, the 7-day diet, where, if I am telling you that I need to eat 2,500 calories every day to maintain my weight, and I'm going to begin a diet, we'll take the simple, over dramatized suggestion of reducing my calorie intake by 500. And that has me eating 2,000 calories per day in an attempt to lose weight. But if I'm like the vast majority of individuals out there, I crush my diet from Monday morning up until about Friday afternoon. And then I go ham Friday night, Saturday brunch, Saturday cocktail, Saturday dinner, Sunday brunch, Sunday football, got to have a couple drinks. And then I start again on Monday. So really what happens is I take 5 steps forward and 2 big fucking steps back every weekend. And if we were to get into the granular details of the calories in and out, and assuming that maybe you're consuming upwards of 3,500 calories on the weekends, each of those days, or me in this case, what ends up happening is that although I'm eating 2,000 calories per day, Monday through Friday, I'm eating such a significantly higher number of calories on Saturday and Sunday that my weekly average intake more or less equals the weekly average intake when I was eating the amount of calories to maintain my weight. Therefore, progress doesn't occur, or it moves at a snail's pace, but I'm still suffering because I feel like I'm dieting for 5 of those days. This just leads to frustration, agitation, and impatience. And within a few weeks, maybe a couple of months, I throw in the towel. Fuck this. It's not working. I can't diet, yada, yada, yada. Now, how does that relate to what we're talking about? Because let's bring up another hypothetical, admittedly oversimplified example as to what happens for most individuals, specifically those who are business owners, entrepreneurs like yourself. January, boom, they start the year like a bullet out of a gun. New year, new me, totally doing a makeover and up leveling over my habits, my behaviors. I'm getting up earlier. I'm more specific, intentional, and focused on what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. Well, guess what? 80% of people have completely undone all of their New Year's habits, routines, etc. by February. Those New Year's resolutions don't last. But we have to go back even further. Typically after Halloween, November, December, progress, action, conversations, cold calling, follow-ups, relationship building all begin to trend downward. So for simplicity purposes, if we have a productive month in terms of output of variables we can control, making the cold calls, the follow-ups, building the relationships, showing the houses, searching and researching for the deals, let's say that a productive month is +1. A neutral month is 0, and an I don't give a fuck month is a -1. Well, what happens is come late October into November and December, you start to get some zeros on the scorecard, maybe even a -1 in December. You might get a 0 in January, but then you start to feel like you need to play catch up in February and March because you didn't do shit December, maybe a little of January, maybe as far back as November. And what I'm getting at is essentially your calendar looks like a net score of 0 in January, maybe 0 in February, finally +1 in March and April. But what happens is you are trying to overcompensate for the complacency that you executed in November, December, and parts of January, if not longer. You reach a point of burnout because you take an unsustainable pace, intensity, and approach to your action to catch up and compensate for the lack of action you took in the off season. What we're now labeling separation season is you begin to burn out. So maybe come April and May, things come to a stall once again. You're tired physically, emotionally, psychologically. And the main takeaway here is a solid, consistent entrepreneur is getting +1 months every single month. Their net at the end of the year is +12. You, on the other hand, if you're guilty of taking your foot off the gas, you might be netting a +6, maybe a +3. And that just creates frustration because there is now suddenly a gap between expectation and reality. And that gap invites in feelings of frustration, doubt, regret, shame, anger, disappointment, sadness. The list goes on and on. And those are toxic emotions that do not allow you to access the clarity, critical thinking skills, and of course, the energy to take the action you need to take to level up your business and take it to the next level in terms of both impact and income. And that pause was intentional, just allowing space for you to reflect on how you typically approach this time of year. Are the holidays typically an excuse to put in short work weeks, not make follow ups, not make cold calls, not research different properties, markets, etc.? Do you often find yourself, maybe not January, but February or March, just frustrated where you are, frustrated with the slow start to the year, wondering what to do different, racking your brain, constantly falling victim to shiny object syndrome, trying anything and everything to get business going again? Look, this is your chance to stand out. This is your chance to separate yourself. And the best part of all of this is you don't need to do anything miraculous except keep doing what it is you've been doing that has brought you success. Remember, success leaves clues. And one of my favorite exercises to walk through with my clients this time of year is to reflect on the year. What has gone really well? What has produced the biggest return on investment financially, relationally, and then, of course, in all of the buckets of self care? And through this exercise, we begin to identify exactly what has contributed most to the growth for them individually and professionally. And we learn how we can double down on these efforts and make sure that we are spending their energy as efficiently and effectively as possible, because energy is the most valuable currency. We want to learn what needs to be done to protect it, to grow it, expand it, and also restore it as well. So, what I want to share with you in the remainder of this conversation are a few forms of common entrepreneurial regression during this time of year to give you further clarity and awareness about what to look out for in your own self-talk, decisions, and behaviors so that you can continue to keep your foot on the gas to not only finish this year strong, but to start the new year strong. So you keep building upon the foundation of success you've created this year. Number one, the obvious one. It's the holiday season. I record this episode. It's November 30th. Had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you did as well. Hanukkah, Christmas right around the corner, New Year's Eve, college football playoffs, the NFL playoffs around the corner, hockey season's picking up. There are so many opportunities in which that couch is calling. For the vast majority of you, the weather is cold, dark, windy, gray, snowy, icy, rainy. It just flat out sucks. I mean, if I was in your shoes, I probably wouldn't want to go show a house in 15-degree weather when it's windy and icy. Not my line of work, fortunately, I guess. But my point being is this time of year, There are no shortage of temptations, excuses, and even borderline rational justifications for throwing in the towel, for doing far less than you typically would do. And we go even further. There are so many delicious holiday treats out there that our nutrition typically isn't the best here. And that's okay. Live life. But my point being, so many of you start to slack in the nutrition department. You find easier and more effective excuses to skip the workouts in your life as well, your sleep, your stress management. There's more alcohol. Self care as a whole takes a major backseat this time of year, which leads to less energy to do the things you know you need to be doing. So when comfort begins to creep in, the sleeping in, the snoozing, the procrastinating, the skipping, the justification, this is your downfall every year. This is what holds you back from next level growth and next level opportunity. So, one of the easy audits you can make right now is getting very clear on your non negotiables, your minimum effective dose of all things in the self care bucket: the nutrition, the exercise, the stress management, whether that be journaling, meditation, or breath work, and making sure you have a solid routine in place, accountability as necessary to still take care of yourself during this year. Because that's going to give you the energetic capacity to do what needs to be done to finish this year strong. Number two, it's so easy to find excuses disguised as logic. Oh, it's the holiday season. Rates aren't ideal. Nobody wants to buy. It's the end of the year. The holidays here. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Get out of your own way. Drop the excuses. There is so much opportunity available to you the next 30, 60, 90 days if you choose to see it that way. Whatever you focus on is what your mind is going to continue to create for you. If you continue to tell yourself there's no deals, there's no one looking to buy or sell right now, that's all you're going to see. You're going to miss so many opportunities and relationships in which people are ready to buy, are ready to sell, and they need to buy and sell yesterday. So when you start to catch yourself during that internal dialogue, find excuses and justifications not to do something, pause, challenge it, get curious. Is that true? Is taking action going to hinder your growth, your goals, your achievement in the new year? Absolutely not. Third low hanging fruit. Easy form that you likely fall victim to is all or nothing thinking. If you can't do a full work day, oh, the kids only have a half day of school today, or it's too cold, I'm going to stay at home, or it's too snowy, I'm going to stay at home, I can't go to the office today. Well, if you can't do a full work day, might as well not do anything. Maybe you open your email, maybe you access your CRM, maybe you pull up MLS, but you're likely not to. And maybe you do it just to do it so you can, and I air quote here, feel productive. But the truth is you do jack shit. You get absolutely nothing done. And this starts to happen far too often. 40, 50, 60-hour weeks that are common for you suddenly become 30, 20, 10. And the hours you do put in are incredibly low quality. And this isn't me here saying don't take time off, don't spend time with family. It's just simply this. When you've committed to working, be all in, present, focused, intentional. When you've committed to be with friends, family, and resting, restoring, taking time off, guess what? Be all in, present, and intentional. Lastly, so many people lose accountability this time of year. There's no KPIs, no routines, external eyes, accountability. There's no scoreboard or scorecard where you're visually seeing progress and taking accountability of what you do and do not execute and complete. This is why hiring a coach this time of year, whether real estate specific, business specific, or mindset and performance specific, becomes so valuable. Because again, most of your peers and competitors are taking their foot off the gas this time of year. Capitalize on the opportunity. You absolutely have to. As I was preparing my notes for this conversation, one of the topics that came up that I've talked about immensely in other areas on the internet, especially on my podcast, I have a podcast. It's called the Scratch Golfers Mindset Podcast. Yes, it's about golf in some way, shapes, and form, but it's really a personal and professional development podcast disguised as a golf mindset podcast. But it's the idea of being committed versus being interested. And if you're committed to your goals, and I don't know what your goals are, but I'm going to go off in my imagination and assume they're big, challenging goals that will allow you to change lives, leave an impact, and also have a large income. If you're committed to your goal, the holidays, the weather, other people's actions leave you absolutely unfazed. You are unaffected. You are so laser focused on where you're going, what needs to be done, and you execute. If you're interested in achieving next level success, next level results, you are so easily distracted. It becomes laughably easy to give into every temptation around the corner. And if upon hearing me say that, you feel a bit triggered, you notice a little tension, tightness, resistance present in your body, I encourage you to look inward and be vulnerable and honest with yourself. Are you committed to your goals? It's a really good opportunity for you to audit what you want, where you're going, and what needs to be done. And perhaps equally important, what you're willing to give up to get there. So many people say they are committed, but their actions speak of purely being interested. And to demonstrate your level of commitment to the best version of you, taking your business, yourself, your client's success to the next level this new year, this is the time to keep your foot on the gas, to stay committed, to stay accountable, and to continuously take action. Because candidly, during this time period, maybe there are variables beyond your control which slow things down or impact the rate of return or the return on investment, so to speak. You don't lose any of the skills during this time of year that allows you to have success the majority of the year. What you lose, and this is purely through inaction, is confidence and self-trust. And the way that this shows up is hesitation on cold calling, fear around following up, procrastination, analysis paralysis. You have an opportunity to really step in to the next best version of yourself now. New year, new you, new year, new plan is bullshit. It's code for procrastination. It's code for I'm only interested in success. Complacency has a compound cost. Are you complacent or committed? This 3-month chunk of time ahead of you is an opportunity to prove to yourself how committed you are to your goals, to separate yourself from your competition, and to barely recognize who you are today compared to who you're going to be in 90 days because you relentlessly took action. And I want nothing more for you than for you to shine brightly, achieve your potential, and have the biggest impact and earn the biggest income possible because you're true to yourself and taking consistent, relentless, aligned action to serve others and be the best version of you. Your opportunity to do that is here. It begins today. It's separation season. Welcome, buckle up, take action, and go be the best version of yourself. Well, with that said, I thank you for listening to today's conversation. I hope you found immense value. I hope you feel inspired. I hope you feel compelled to look inward and understand some of the missteps you might have taken around this time of year and years past. And I encourage you to get curious, to get honest with yourself. What do you want? Where are you going? What needs to be the priority and the area of focus to get you where you want to be? This has been another episode of the inner game of real estate success. If today's episode helps you shift your mindset or gave you a new perspective, I'd love for you to share it with another realtor, investor, or broker who's also ready to grow and separate themselves from their competitors. And if you're ready to go deeper and to finally eliminate what's holding you back fears, beliefs, and behaviors, then I invite you to schedule a mindset and performance coaching discovery call with me. And you can do that in the link found in the show notes. Until next time, keep showing up, stay grounded, and remember your greatest edge is the one between your ears.